Have you ever been in a situation where someone who you know truly cares about you starts ignoring you? Maybe it's a partner, a friend, or even a family member. They stop texting as much, seem emotionally distant, or avoid spending time with you. It's heartbreaking and confusing, right? You start to wonder, did I do something wrong? Did they stop loving me? But here's the surprising truth. Sometimes, the very reason they're ignoring you is because they care too much. I know it sounds contradictory, but psychology shows us that the people who care the most might withdraw. Not because they don't love you, but because they are afraid of losing you. In this video, we're going to explore the psychological reasons behind this paradoxical behavior. Why does someone who cares deeply for you sometimes pull away or ignore you? What's going on in their mind? And most importantly, how can you navigate the situation without feeling rejected or hurt? By the end of this video, you'll not only understand their behavior, but also learn how to respond in a way that strengthens your relationship. Part 1. The psychology of emotional withdrawal. Attachment anxiety. Fear of messing things up. One of the most common reasons someone who cares about you might ignore you is attachment anxiety. This is a psychological pattern where people become so afraid of losing someone they love that it leads to overthinking and self-doubt. They start questioning their every move. Am I being too clingy? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I ruin this relationship? This fear creates a loop of overthinking that becomes so overwhelming. They might decide to step back entirely. They think, if I just stay quiet, I won't ruin anything. Ironically, this withdrawal can feel like rejection to you, even though it's their way of trying to protect the relationship. Vulnerability and emotional overload. Another reason they might ignore you is because caring deeply makes them feel vulnerable. Vulnerability is scary. It means opening yourself up to potential rejection, disappointment, or hurt. For some people, this vulnerability can become too much to handle, so they retreat to protect themselves. It's not that they don't care. It's that they care so much, they feel emotionally overloaded. Think about the times you cared deeply about something. Maybe a big project, a life goal, or someone you love. The higher the stakes, the greater the pressure, right? That's exactly what they're feeling. Ignoring you becomes a way to manage their emotional overwhelm, even though it hurts you in the process. Subconscious self-sabotage. Sometimes, the people who care the most struggle with self-sabotage. They might feel like they're not good enough for you, or that they're destined to mess things up. This self-doubt can lead them to push you away, even though they don't really want to. It's a classic case of, I'll hurt them before they hurt me. Psychologists call this behavior a self-fulfilling prophecy. They believe they'll lose you, so they act in ways that create distance, which ironically increases the chances of the relationship breaking down. It's a painful cycle that often has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own insecurities. Part 2. How to respond when someone ignores you. Step 1. Don't take it personally. The first and most important step is to remind yourself that their behavior is not necessarily about you. It's easy to internalize their withdrawal and think, they don't care about me anymore, but that's often far from the truth. Their actions are usually a reflection of their own fears, insecurities, or emotional struggles. Instead of jumping to conclusions, take a step back and give yourself some emotional space. This will help you approach the situation with clarity, rather than reacting out of hurt or frustration. Step 2. Offer reassurance. Sometimes, all it takes to break through their emotional walls is a little reassurance. A simple message like, hey, I just want you to know I care about you, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk, can make a huge difference. This lets them know that the relationship is safe and that you're not going anywhere, even if they're struggling. Step 3. Respect their need for space. It's also important to respect their need for space. If someone is ignoring you, it might be because they're trying to process their own emotions. Pressuring them to explain themselves or demanding immediate answers can backfire and push them further away. Instead, give them the time and space they need while staying present and available in a non-intrusive way. Step 4. Open the door to communication. When the time feels right, Gently open the door to communication. You can say something like, "I've noticed you've been a little distant lately. Is everything okay?" This gives them the opportunity to share what they're feeling without feeling attacked or judged. Remember, the goal is to create a safe and supportive space for them to open up. Part 3. Why understanding this behavior strengthens relationships. Empathy is the key to connection. Understanding why someone might act distant or ignore you can transform the way you view relationships. Instead of seeing their withdrawal as rejection, you start to see it as a reflection of their own struggles. This shift in perspective allows you to approach the situation with empathy, which is one of the most powerful tools for building trust and connection. Recognizing their fear. By recognizing that their behavior is often rooted in fear of losing you, fear of vulnerability, or fear of failure, you can respond with compassion rather than frustration. This doesn't mean excusing hurtful behavior, but it does mean acknowledging that their actions might come from a place of love rather than indifference, building a stronger bond. When you respond to their withdrawal with understanding, patience, and reassurance, you create a foundation of trust. Over time, this can help them feel safe enough to fully open up and show their true feelings. Relationships are not about perfection. They're about navigating challenges together and growing stronger in the process. Conclusion. So, why does someone who cares deeply for you sometimes ignore you? It's not because they don't love you, it's because they do. Their behavior is often a reflection of their own fears, insecurities, and emotional struggles, not a lack of care. By understanding the psychology behind this, you can approach the situation with empathy and respond in a way that strengthens your connection. Remember, relationships are complex. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, but the key is to focus on open communication, mutual understanding, and patience. When someone ignores you, it's easy to feel hurt, but by looking beyond their actions and into their emotions, you can build a deeper and more meaningful bond. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever been in a situation where someone who cared about you seemed distant or ignored you? How did you handle it? Share your story in the comments below. Your experiences might help someone else going through the same thing. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss insights like this. And if you know someone who might need to hear this, share this video with them. It could make a world of difference. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes emotional distance is just love in disguise.